Okay, on this problem, it says, which of the following is a correct description of the function shown on the graph? First off, on all of the answer choices, it says stuff like the graph contains a point. That's one of the first things you need to go through, and you need to try and eliminate just based on that. I would on just that information. All right, my pen's tangled up. So I would go and look, and it says 6, 2. So if I go over here to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and up 2, that's right there. That is not correct. That is not on the line. Another one says it contains the point 2, negative 2. So I go over 2 and down 2. That does work. Well, what about 0, negative 6? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's on the line too. And then they say 3, negative 6. Well, I know it can't be that because I have 0, negative 6. So these two I can eliminate just on the fact of the points. So then it says when the value of x increases by 1, the value of y increases by 2. It's talking about the rate of change. So right here, what's happening to go up to the next point? Like to get up to this one, I'm actually going up 2 and over 1. So I'm going up, let me see if I can draw with the right pen here. Up 2 and to the right 1. Well, this is the change in y. This is the change in x. Now, this says when your x value increases by 1, when you go to the right, you increase. The y value increases by 2. This B should be what you get for the answer. The next ones, let's see, let me just do one at a time. Right here, if you're trying to practice, I would pause the video and then press play and see how you do. It says, which of the following is not a correct description of the graph of the function y equals negative 5x plus 3? Well, I'll tell you, anytime you have an equation, the first thing you should automatically do is go and put it in, not there, your calculator. Let me move this over. Oops. Doesn't want to be my friend right now. So I would go into y equals and put in there negative 5x plus 3. And then I would try and look from there. First off, A says the graph of the function contains the points 0, 3. So I will go and look in the table. Let's see. Use the easier ones to try and eliminate first off. 0, 3. Well, here we go. Let's go. 0, 3 is there. 2, negative 7. And 5, negative 22. Well, that's correct, and a lot of times people think that the answer is A, but what is it asking you? It says which one is not correct. This one is true. So that's not the right answer. You're looking to find where one is false. The next one, let's see, let's go down here to these points down here. So I'm going to look at negative 1, 8, yes. 1, negative 2, 3, negative 12. See, that one's true as well. Okay, well, the next one's like B, it says the graph of the function contains the point 0, 3. Well, we already found out. I keep clicking the wrong icon. We already know that 0, 3 is in there. Then it says when the value of x increases by 1, the value of y decreases by 5. Well, let's see. When this goes up by 1, what's happening to my y? It says 3 what? Oh, okay. I missed something already. Looking right here, they said this was supposed to be 312, and I was getting ahead of myself. It says 3, negative 12. So that's right. That would be incorrect. So that should have stopped from the very beginning right there. I should have found that that was not the right answer. So be very careful in making sure that you're reading correctly and you don't miss a positive and negative sign. See, because on these next ones, I guess I would have gone through and found out I messed up somewhere because it says that if the x increases by 1, the y decreases by 5, and that's what's happening in my table. So that would have been true. The next one said that it went through the point 0, 3 and a slope of negative 5, and C would have been true as well. On the next one, okay, on this one it says, which table best describes the points on the line graph below? Okay, as you go and pause the video, try and figure out which one it is. The first thing I would do, I saw a lot of people when they were trying to do this problem by trying to do delta y over delta x, trying to find the equation, put it in their calculator. Well, I didn't understand why. If it was me, I would have gone here immediately. There's already a table, -4, -9. So I would have gone to -4, down here to -9, and it is on the table. Okay, so that means that's good. -1, -7. -1 down to, what was that, 6. We're at 2, 4. Right there is 7. That point is not on the line, so it's not A. Well, this one has -4, 9. That one says -1, -7. That's not it either. Isn't it? How is it A? I'm looking, though, right here. I do need glasses, don't I? There it is right there. You're right. I was looking at -2. All right, let's try that again. So -4, 9, -1, -7, 2, -5, and 5, -3. Yep, so all of those for A would be correct. But I would check the points and try and make sure you match up the points on the line. Here's the next one. Now, this is one thing that I think on inequalities people are going to struggle with, because they're going to test you on the fact of what you have to do when you multiply or divide by a negative. Okay, so when I'm looking at this, I have -5x is greater than 5. Well, first off, just because of the greater than symbol, which one of these can I eliminate? I can eliminate A, because the only reason you would have A is if it had an equal sign. If it was like, whoops, for that one, it would go the less than symbol, yeah. It would be less than or equal to be shaded in. Okay, so now I'm going up here and I'm going to divide by -5. And right here, ding, 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 ding. When you divide by a negative, you have to flip the sign. So it becomes x is less than -1. Your answer should be B. Now let's look at 4A. It says, which graph can be used to find the solutions to the inequality? One of the first things I always look at is I look and see right here, whoa, stray marks. Right here, I look and see this symbol. It says equal to. It should be a solid line. And I would look and see if there was any dashed lines anywhere, because remember, if it was just less than like this, it would be a dashed line. So I would eliminate any of those. Well, there's not any there. Well, what do I have to do here first before I can do any figuring out which graph it is? I have to put it into slope-intercept form. I have to solve for y. Right now, it's in standard form. So now I'm going to have 5x plus 2y less than or equal to 10. So I'm going to subtract 5x from each side, and I get 2y less than or equal to -5x plus 10. So from here, I'm going to divide by 2. Do I need to flip the sign? Why am I not flipping the sign? I did not divide this. In this red right there, I did not divide by a negative. So it's going to be -5/2 x plus 5. First off, one of the things, I mean, you can put in the calculator if you want. I'm looking at this right here. This is telling me my slope is negative. If my slope is negative, what is true about my line? It should be decreasing. So D cannot be the answer. That line is going up. So D cannot be correct. This one's going down. Oh, all these other ones are going down. Now the less than symbol means that do I shade above or below? It means I shade below. So if I shade below, A cannot be the right answer because if I go here, it's everything above my line. So A is not correct. These are below. These are below. Okay, so now I'm down to two choices. Now I just need to look at one of the easier things is I would look right here. My y-intercept is +5. Up here is a positive. This one is a negative. Can't be C. Your answer should be B. Next problem. Right here. Which of the following will result in the same solution set as the inequality shown below? Basically, we just need to solve for y. So I'm going to rewrite it over here. We are going to subtract 3x from each side. Negative 8y greater than or equal to negative 3x plus 24. Right here, negative 8 times y, I'm going to divide by negative 8. Ding, 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 ding. I divided by a negative, so what do I have to do with my sign? I have to flip it. It goes less than or equal to. So I have y is less than or equal to positive 3/8 x. Why is that positive? Negative divided by a negative is a positive, yes. And then 24 divided by negative 8 minus 3. Which is the only one here. It should be not. Why is it not A? The sign, it has a greater than. It should be D. Next, pause that video, try and do this problem, and come back and see how you did. It says Hans bought $85 worth of lumber to build birdhouses, which he sells for $7.50 each. Which equation can be used to determine how many birdhouses H Hans will need to sell to make up for the money he spent for lumber? Well, first off, I mean, you think about it in the real world. What would you do? You buy the lumber, so you have your $85, and you spent it. If you're trying to make it back, right, figuring out how much you still have to pay yourself back, I mean, are you going to add the $7.50 you sell each birdhouse for? No. You've got to subtract off the $7.50 for each birdhouse to find out when it gets you to break even back to 0. So your answer should be A. If that, you know, in some ways, if that doesn't make sense, one thing you could do is build a table where X is the number of birdhouses and H is your money. See, because at 0 birdhouses, you're still in the hole $85. After 1, okay, you would have sold one birdhouse for $7.50. Okay, so that would be what? $77.50. You could build a table and then try and figure out your equation from the table. Next one. You can pause that video and see how you do on this one and come back. It says Mr. Jimenez bought a refrigerator that was on sale for 15% off the original price P. Which equation can be used to determine S, the sale price of the refrigerator? Okay. How do you figure? You've got your sale price. What do you need to do? Do you add? Do you take the price that it originally was plus that? What in the world do they come up with 85%? They've got 85 and 15. What are they doing? Well, why do they have 85 and then 15? Well, yeah, it's going to be, but see, if this right here, if you just took 0.85 times the price, that's actually how much the sale price is going to be. What is it doing here with that? It's adding on the original price as well. So to find the sale price, you need to take the original price minus how much it's discounted. And it's discounted 15%. Your answer is going to be A. If you just were trying to find the sale, another one that could be it, if finding the sales price is you could have taken 85% times the original price, And that would be your sales price because it already took off the 15%. Up here, what's happening is you have your original price minus, and here's your sale price, 15% off of whatever the price is. I think in our heads, a lot of times we do this right here. 5B. You can pause that video and come back and see how you do. It says Denise plans to take her children to a baseball game. She has a total of $100 to pay for 2 different items. Which inequality could Denise use to determine why the number of hot dogs she can buy if she buys a soft drink for herself and X children? First off, if you only have a total of $100, what inequality symbol are you using? Less than, but it should be less than or equal to, because you have $100, you can spend up to $100. If you only did that, there's only one answer choice with that in it. The answer should be D. No, I didn't see that. I saw the other ones. See, I'm blind. I must not have my glasses on. These 2 cannot be right. It has the wrong inequality symbol. The other 2 have the correct one. They have the less than or equal to. Okay, so now we've got to figure out between these things. See, it's got like a 5y and a 3y. Well, it says y is the number of hot dogs she can buy. Okay, $5 per hot dog. If she buys herself a soft drink and X amount of children. So she knows that she's going to buy herself a drink. That's that +1. So your answer should be A. All right, the next one. Right here, it says which inequality is represented by the graph shown? Well, I automatically look at the dotted line. So which answer choice can I get rid of? I should be able to get rid of B because it says equal to. Because if it has equal to, then it's a solid line, so it's not B. Now, where is it shading? Is it shading above or below the line? If I draw a line, everything is going above. So above is greater than. So I've got a greater than. I've got a greater than. This has got to go away. It says less than. My slope of my line is decreasing. It is going down. So if it's decreasing, my slope is negative. So if the line is decreasing, the slope is negative. So my answer would be A. Next. Mrs. Kim analyzed sales data from the past year and determined her potential profit from the sales of X units of her product. Her potential profit is represented by the graph below. Okay. First off, I see that it is a solid line, so I know that it has an equal to bar. All of them have that. I know that the shading is above. That means that it is greater than. All of them are greater than. I see that my line is increasing. If my line is increasing, my slope is positive. Positive slope, remember the slope is what's in front of the variable. That is a positive slope. That is a negative slope. This goes away. That's a positive slope. Now, down here, the y-intercept is down at -200. So I have 0, -200. So -200, this says +10. That's not it. Now the difference between these two is the slope. This one says the slope is 10. This one says it's 100. If you look carefully, I'm starting, like for example, if I started here at 20 and 0, I'm going up 100 and over 10. I'm going up 100 and over to the right 10. Not just one line. Each line is worth 10. 100 divided by 10 is 10. Your answer should be A. Next, Brent's mom and dad drove separately from their home to Brenham to meet at Grandma's house for dinner. If M represents the time it takes Brent's mom to drive to Brenham, and D represents the time it took Brent's dad to drive to Brenham, which of the following represents a situation in which Brent's mom got to Brenham faster than his dad? Woo, that's a lot of words. Okay, basically, it says, who's getting there first? It says that Brent's mom got to Brenham faster. So the mom got there faster than dad. Okay, so the only one that goes through and does that, this is eliminated because it says less than. This says less than. So on 6B, it's not equal to, I mean, not on 6B, the answer C, it's not equal to because it didn't say it got there they got there at the same time. It says that the mom was there faster. So the answer should be A. All right, on the next one. This one troubled some people. It says which graphs have a range where y is less than or equal to 3. First off, remember range is y. Y means up and down, right? This is the y-axis. So I'm going to go to 3 on the y-axis. And it wants to know which one has numbers that are less than or equal to, so it goes below. This one does. If I go up here to 3, all these numbers now go down. So this is yes. On 3, that one goes up. This is no way, Jose. So the only answers are 1 and 2. So your answer should be A. Next one. What is the range of the function shown? Range is y. Well, why do all these answers? Does your book have it too? All these, does your book say all x's? As y's? I wonder if they did it backwards. Oh, look, somebody, let's see if I can move these over. I wonder if they... Yeah, look at the answer choices. Did they just copy and paste this wrong? Look at the answers. What? Does yours all say X right here? Yours are they the same numbers? -7, X, and 3? Okay, they should all be Y because it's talking about range. Okay, so first off, an open circle over here means that it is not equal to. So the range should be down here at 3. It goes from 3 all the way up to the highest point up here, which is 5. Now at 3, it does not equal 3. Well, first, or -3. If I cross, so these are not the right answer. It says it goes down to -7. Right here it says -3, and it goes all the way up to 5. Your answer should be C. 7B, which of the graph of the function y equals x plus 3 is shown below on the coordinate grid? Okay, what is the range of the function when the domain is greater than or equal to 2? Basically what it's saying, what I would do, you can look at the table, I mean, if on the graph if you want to, but I would go and put it in the calculator and look at x and y. So let me go pull up my calculator. Because anytime there's an equation, I like to look at the table. So we have x plus 3. And I'm going to press second graph. It says when the domain, when the x is greater than 2. So let's go look where x is greater than 2. What is happening? Oh, where's my pen? How about that? What is happening to my y numbers? It starts at, looks like 5, and it's going up. So it's getting bigger. So the answer is going to be B. Next one. A rectangle has a width represented by the expression 2a minus 1 and a length of 5a. Which expression represents the perimeter? This messed some people up because they couldn't figure out where the 2 came from. What are they doing? Why is there a 2 out here? Well, what they've done is they've added these up here because perimeter means to add up all the sides. So they've added these up and gotten 7a minus 1. Well, that's 2 of the sides. To get the other 2 sides, they just went and multiplied it by 2. So your answer should be D. Next, number 8A. If a rectangular poster has an area of 5x squared plus 11x plus 6, which of the following would describe the dimensions of the poster? Okay, you can do this a couple of ways. For me, the easiest way to make sure I get it right with no errors, I'm going to go in my calculator and I'm going to put in Y1 5x squared plus 11x plus 6. Then I'll go down here and try each one of my answer choices. So I'll try x plus 3 times 5x minus 2. Now I'm going to go second graph, and what I'm looking for is to see if these two columns are the same. Y1 and Y2 are not the same, so I know that A is not the correct answer. So now if I go back, let's see here, it's got x minus 6 and 5x plus 1. Well, where did everything go? Okay, should be plus 1. Second graph. Y1 and Y2 are not the same. That means this is not the right answer. Next one. Let's see here. I would go 5x plus 3 times x minus 2. Second graph. Make sure Y1 and Y2 are the same. Ooh, they're not the same. Okay, hopefully this next one is. All right, so we've got 5x plus 6 and then x plus 1. I press second graph. They are the same. It means that letter D is correct. Now, one thing I could also do, you could factor this, or you could take your answer choices here, and you could have done all these individually and done 5x plus 6 and x plus 1. You would have gotten 5x times x, 5x squared, 5x times 1, 5x, 6 times x, 6x, 6 times 1 is 6. Added up the x's, you get 5x squared plus 11x plus 6, which is my answer right here. Next one. If the okay, so pause the video, read the question, and come back and see if you know how to do this. This one confused a number of people because it says if x is 2, what is the value of c right here? So you're going to take 2 and put it in there wherever x is. So I'm going to have 2 squared plus x, which is 2, plus c equals 0. 2 squared is 2 times 2 is 4, plus 2 plus c is 0. So yeah, you have 6 plus c equals 0. Subtract 6 from each side. C equals negative 6. So this is your negative right here. Make sure to bubble that in. And I will put maybe a little better than I do. Let's see, where's 6? Right there. Now, on bubbling in on this grid, you could put all these zeros here if you wanted to, but you don't need to. All right, number 9. Pause that video, come back and see how you do. Well, it wants to know what is the slope. So I'm going to go and I'm going to build a table. Well, maybe I'll draw it a little nicer here. Make myself some more room. Here's my table. I'm going to put in there G and 2G. The G is what was messing people up. 4G and 5G. Remember, you have X and Y. So you're going to take delta Y. The change in Y right here is 3G. Delta X from G to 4G is 3G. And when you take delta Y divided by delta X, 3G over 3G, when you divide those, your answer is 1. Because remember, these exponents, these cross out, and then 3 divided by 3 is 1. Next. All right. Coming over here and looking, it says, what is the slope of the graph of the equation? Well, you've got to go and solve for y. So I've got 5x minus 3y equals 12. You're going to subtract 5x from each side. You get negative 3y equals negative 5x plus 12. You're going to divide by negative 3. You get y equals positive 5/3 x minus 4. 5/3 right here. There's your slope. Your answer should be C. Next one. Pause that video. Come back and see if you got the right answer. On this one, in order, Mrs. Watson wants to order some candy bars for her students. The graph shows the total cost for an order of fewer than 5 boxes of candy or bars, including standard fee for shipping and handling. Based on the graph, which of the following best describes this situation? Each box of candy bars costs $12. So when they're trying to find how much each box costs, they're trying to find the slope. So we're going to start, we're going to find out from here up to the next point about how much is it. So for me, it looks like it's a little bit above 35. It's going up 5, 10, 15, and over 1. It's close to about 15 because, see, it's right here above that line. And 5, 10, 15, and the closest number is B for 16. Next one. It says solve the quadratic equation. When you solve it, when they're asking you to solve it, they're asking you to find the roots. I would make notes of this, the roots. It could be said as the x-intercepts, or that we call them the zeros as well. Okay? It's talking about where the parabola crosses the x-axis. Okay, that's what you're looking for. So what I would do is go into my calculator. Oh, what did it do here? There we go. Go into y equals. And I have x squared minus 5x minus 6. And I'm going to press graph. I can look at the graph and see where they're crossing here. But it might be better to go to second graph. This one says x is negative 2. Well, no, my solution's right here. It's negative 1, 0. Well, there's a negative 1, and it says 6. So if I go down here and look, it should say 6, 0. And it does. So my answer on this one would be D. Next one. The graph of the quadratic function is shown below. What is the best estimate of the positive value of x for which the function equals 6? Okay, so what it means is you're supposed to come up here to 6 when the function equals 6, and best estimate for the positive x number is right here, which would be 8. Okay, you already could eliminated A and C because they're negatives, and it asked you for the positive. Next one. The completion of a certain chemical reaction is given by the equation. It gives us the equation where y is the number of seconds needed to complete the reaction and x is the temperature. If this reaction is completed in 200 seconds, what is the temperature? Okay, x is the temperature, y is the time. So basically you're going to go into the y equals, and into y1 you're going to put the equation 250 minus 5x minus x squared, and you're going to look and see where x is 200. So if we go and do that, go to y equals, we're going to put in there, oh, let me see if I can move this up here. 250 minus 5x minus x squared. Now, I can go in the calculator and just press the button down until I get to where x is 200. Do you remember the quick way to get there? Second window, type in 200, second graph. What did I do wrong? X is the temperature. Oh, guess what I did wrong? I'm looking in the wrong spot, aren't I? Because it says what is the temperature? Temperature is x. Okay, the seconds are y. So it said after 200 seconds. So I'm supposed to be looking to see where y is 200. Oops. Let me go back. Second window. Let's look and see where y is 200. I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? Up. There it is. The answer should be 5. Now, what I would do, so you don't make the mistake that I did right there, is I would build a table and make sure that x is the temperature, and I would put that in on the table where x is, label what it is, and y is seconds. And then that way I know I'm putting it in for the right thing. There's the next one. Okay, on problem number 11, it says the perimeter of a regular polygon can be found by multiplying n, the number of sides, by the length of one side. So it's trying to find the expression to find the perimeter. Which expression represents the perimeter of a regular polygon? All right. So it says that the perimeter can be found by multiplying n, the number of sides, by the length of one side. So first off, it says multiplying n, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, my board's frozen. Okay. So looking at this one, what's an idea of how to attack this problem? What will we do? Because we have n's and s's, and normally when we do perimeter, we add up all the sides. Any ideas? When you're sitting there looking at, it says can be found by multiplying n, the number of sides, by the length of one side. Well, it says that you're multiplying n by the number of sides. Okay, so it says n is the number of sides by the length of one side. So all it's telling you to do is multiply these two numbers together. It's n times s. Okay? The next one. The next one has this mapping. And as you're looking up here, it says, which of the following best represents the function x squared minus 5? One of the things that people got confused about was remembering that this is your x. F of x is the same as saying y. And when they're drawing the arrows, they're telling you what the ordered pairs are. So -2, -5, -1, -4, 0, -1, 3, 1. In this one, it'd be -2. It goes with -1, then -1, -4, 0, -5. So it's just basically giving you the ordered pair. So anytime they have an equation, I always go to my calculator and put that in there. So I have put the equation there, x squared minus 5, and press second graph. So the first one says -2, -5. That says -2, -1. So that means that this isn't right. Well, if I go down here to B, -2, it points to 1. That's -1. It's not B. How about D? -2, -7. Nope. So now as I look, it says -1, -4. Yes, that's right there. 0, -5, because the arrow goes here. And 3, 4. All right, so that means C should be my answer. Next one. Which best describes the relationship, represents the relationship shown in the table below? The easiest thing I would do is go and find the points. I would go and find -8, 5. So if I go over to -8 and up to 5, nope, not even on here. So this cannot be right. -8, +5, I know that this isn't it. So if I look on one of the next ones, I've got, mine's kind of small, -8, -5. It looks like that could be it. -8, 5, -4, 1, -4, 1, -4, 1 is on there. 2, -5, over 2, down 5. Over 2, down 5, nope. So your answer should be C. Next, on number 12, it says the depth of the water of a swimming pool decreases at a steady rate. Okay, so it decreases, meaning it's going down. Which graph best represents the depth of the pool as a function of h, the number of hours it takes to drain the pool? Well, it's decreasing, so it's not this one. And it says it decreases at a steady rate. This is, I don't even know, let's see, it's here, and then all of a sudden it decreases really fast. This one, it decreases fast and then kind of tapers off. The steady rate means that it goes in one line, so this would be your answer, letter D. Next, it gives you a function, it gives you the ordered pairs. It says, which is not a correct representation. Well, let's go through here first. 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, 6, and 4, 8. Those all match up. That is correct. That is a good representation. The next one, I know you can't see all the answers on here yet, but if I look at this one, it says 1, 2. If I go over 1 and up 2, nope. Over 2 and up 4, nope. They've got the numbers backwards. This does not work. So B is your answer. 12B. It says Shauna received a gift card for $20 worth of music downloads. If the cost of downloading each song is $2.50, which would best describe what is happening to the balance on the gift card? At the very beginning, you can do this a couple of ways. At the very beginning, you have $20. After one song, if you subtract off $2.50, you get $17.50. Well, 1 and $17.50, that one works. Oh, this says 2 and $17.50, that doesn't work. 1 and $15, that doesn't work. 2, if I subtract off another $2.50, that's 15. That's on both of those. 3, shouldn't it be, it should be $12.50. Well, that one says $13.50. The answer would be A. Another way you could do this is if you knew that it was $20. Whoops, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's $20 minus 250x, and you knew that was the equation. You could have put it in the calculator and looked at the table. Number 13. Brenda's monthly cell phone bill is determined by the formula. It gives us the formula, where T represents the number of text messages she sends or receives a month. Which of the following is true? Okay, well, let's look at what's happening. It says that Brenda, one of them says Brenda pays $400 each month. What is going on right here? It says that T is the number of text messages. Okay? So this is talking about how many text messages she receives. What would this 35 be? Yeah, this would be the monthly fee. Monthly fee. So it's $35 a month plus. Now, what's happening right here? Why are they subtracting off 400? Inside the bill, most of the time in your monthly fee, it means that 400 minutes are included. Okay? And this is saying that for every minute over 400, they have, for every, not every minute, every text message over 400, it's going to cost 12 cents. So right here, 12 cents per text message over 400. Your answer should be A. Next. The cost of having a computer repaired is $20 plus $15 per hour. The graph, in a graph of the cost of the computer repair, which of the following represents the cost per hour? What did we say that when we use the word per and each? What does that represent? The cost per hour. What is this 15? You should have found it to be your slope, because it would be y equals 15x plus 20. Next, number 13. You can pause that video, try and do the problem. A small business purchased a van to handle its delivery orders. The graph below shows the value of its van over a period of time. Which of the following best describes the meaning of the slope? Meaning of the slope. Well, what's happening? The line is going down. It is decreasing. Well, everything says decreasing. How much is it decreasing? So it starts at 16,000. Let's find another good whole number. Not a whole number. Looking. It doesn't ever, oh yeah, here, right here. It crosses pretty much exactly right here. So it's going down 8,000. So it's going down. Let's see if I can write with this mouse. It's going down 8,000, but you need to divide it by how much it's going over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here to 5. Divided by 5. Well, does that even work? Let's see if I got lucky and figured this out. Oh, golly gee willikers. All right. So go in my home screen, and I have 8,000 divided by 5, 1,600. The answer should be B. The value decreases 1,600 each year. 1,600. Number 14. Emilio's truck has a gas tank that holds 25 gallons of gas and can travel 400 miles without filling the tank. The graph at the right shows the amount of gas remaining in Emilio's truck after he has driven a certain amount of miles. Which of the following best describes a reasonable range? First off, you've got to know and circle right there. As soon as you see it, circle that word range and know that it is Y. I have to know that this is my X and my vertical is my Y. Y is the number of gallons remaining of gas. So it's not C and D. C and D is talking about miles. Miles is the domain. So right here, I go from 0 and up to 25. Some people will put 30 because that's what the graph, the lines go up to, but the actual function equation only goes up to 25. Your answer should be B. Next one. The perimeter of the square is 36 meters or less. Which set describes the domain for L, the length of one side? Okay, perimeter means you add up all the sides. If I add them all up and get 36, how much is each side? Take 36 divided by 4, and it is 9. That means it's 36 or less, so that means that it's going to go between 0 and 9. Your answer should be B. Number 14. What is the height? The graph shows the height of a golf ball over time. What is the domain of the function? Right there, you should circle, highlight. Domain is X. So it goes from 0 out to 5. Well, first off, domain being X, look, I can cross off A and B because it has Y. The answer is C. It's because it's starting at 0 and it's landing at 5. It has to include it. And if it has to include it, it's got to be equal to. Number 15. Amy's cat Scooter escaped from the backyard and is wandering around the neighborhood before returning back home. Which section of the graph represents the part of Scooter's trip in which he was traveling the fastest? How do you know on a graph when they are traveling the fastest? How steep the line is. So the faster it's going, the faster means it's a steeper line. So it looks like it's right here. But remember, it could be decreasing as well. I mean, just because it's going up or down doesn't mean anything. But this is going up 5, 10, 15, and over one line. This is going down 1, 5, 10, 15. Or I guess let's see. Let's try this again. 1, 2, 3, and over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 2. Yes, so it should be P right here. Yes, it's P, but it's letter B. Here's the next one. (15A), to buy a membership to a fitness center, people must pay a one-time registration fee plus a regular monthly fee. The table below shows the amount a person pays, including the registration, for different months of membership. Okay, according to the information in the table, which of the following statements is true? Well, let's figure out what's going on. Let's find the equation right here. Delta y, the change in y, is 50. So delta y, delta x is 2. So I've got delta y over delta x, 50 over 2 is 25. 25 is going to be your monthly fee because that's what you have to pay each month. So if I have 25 times 4, that gives me 100. I have to add 50 to get to 150. That is my registration fee. It is a one-time fee. Your answer should be A. 15b. Okay, it said, go ahead and pause that video and come back and see how you do. The height in feet of an object dropped from a platform can be described, and it gives you a function where in which the constant p is the original height. So p is the original height, and t is the number of seconds it's dropped. If the number of seconds keeps increasing, the ball will, what's going to happen to the ball? So if the number of seconds keeps increasing, the height will, it should decrease. It says the height will increase at a constant rate. No, it's not going to increase because we're dropping a ball. Remain constant? No, the height can't remain the same if you're dropping the ball. It says decrease to 0. How come it doesn't do anything past that? Yeah, we're not going to go underground. It's not going to go past there. It's going to get to 0, and that's it. So it should be decreasing, and your answer should be A. Here's number 16. Now on this one, it says the length of the rectangle is 3 times the width. That sentence right there, here's what I do with the words. Length is 3 times the width. I look and see L equals 3W, L equals 3W, W equals, nope, W equals, nope. Then it says the perimeter is 28. What's the formula for perimeter? 2 times the length plus 2 times the width is perimeter. Your answer should be C because they're leaving off. All they're doing is adding together one of the lengths and one of the widths. Okay. There's 16A. See if you can figure out what the answer is. Okay, on number 16, the sum of the diameters of 2 different circles is 24. Okay, it says X is the radius, and radius of the larger circle, Y is the radius of the smaller ones. Okay, so they're trying to be tricky here. All right, the sum of the diameters of 2 different circles is 24. At first, you would think it's X plus Y equals 24, but you need to be careful. It's talking about diameter. It says the difference is 8. X represents the radius. Okay, so if X is the radius, right? That's the radius. What is the radius compared to the diameter? To find the diameter, it's 2 times the radius equals the diameter. So the diameters, the sum of the diameters is 24. So that's going to be 2x plus 2y is 24. So it's either this one or this one. So it'd be A and C have to be crossed out. Now it says, oh, actually, so does D, because it says when you're adding together, it gives you 8. Then it says the difference is 8. So your answer should be B. But you had to be careful when I was talking about diameter and radius. Then the next one. The next one, it says 2 supplementary angles have measures of X and Y. If Y is 5 less than twice X, which system of linear equations can be used to determine each angle? Okay, let me look at the second sentence. It says if Y, it says Y is 5 less than twice the width. Twice the width, less than 5. That less than, the 5's got to go at the end. So let's see here. I've got a Y equals 2x minus 5 right here. And then up here it says 2 supplementary angles have a measure of 180. So if you add them together, they equal 180. Your answer should be C. Number 17. Solve the system. Right here, you need to do substitution. you're going to go and you're going to take this and put it in here for y. So I get 2x plus, instead of y, I'm going to put in there x minus 4. And that equals -1. So from here, I'm going to get 2x plus x minus 4 equals -1. Put your x's together. 3x minus 4 equals -1. Add 4 to each side. 3x equals 3. Divide by 3. X equals 1. These two both have answers of 1, so that means these two eliminate. Now I'm going to go in here, y equals x is 1 minus 4. Y equals -3. Your answer should be A. If you don't remember how to do this, I would go into the YouTube videos under Craw Mama 1 and just put in their substitution, and it should bring up some videos to help you remember how to do substitution. Number 17A. Some values of two linear equations are shown below. What is the solution to the system represented by these tables? Okay, you could go through and do delta y over delta x and find the equation of them and then put them in the calculator. But if you look carefully, when it's a solution, it's when they share the same point. Do you see the same point that's in these two tables? There are the two that are in there. You don't even have to do anything other than look carefully. Your answer should be D. If it was not in there, you would go through and find the equation of this table and find the equation of this one, and you could put them in the calculators and find where they intersect. Okay? This, to review, if you don't remember how to find the equation, you can look under the videos under table building. If you don't remember how to put it in the calculator, again, you would put them under systems. Look under the videos that are systems of equations. (17B). Which of the following represents a solution to the linear equations below? Oh man, there's this. The solutions are all these points where they intersect right here. So I guess I'm going to have to go through here and find it up here. It's kind of a juggled mess. The way I would do this, I would do linear combination. I'd multiply my top equation by -4, so I'm going to get rid of my x's. Remember, you multiply by each thing here. I get -4x plus 20y equals -20. Then just rewrite the bottom one. 4x plus 3y equals 20. These cancel out, cross out. You get 23y equals 0. Now I'm curious because I'm trying to figure out what in the world is going on because the y number is 0. 23. Y equals 0. Okay, so I know it's going to cross on the y. They're going to be meeting on the y axis. Whoops. Y is 0. Sorry, that's right here. Now, did I mess up? Let me look and see. Let me try and do the whole problem. Now I'm going to take one of my equations. So I'm going to take x minus 5y equals 5. Put 0 in here. That means this crosses out. I get x equals 5. That means that they intersect at 5, 0. Is there a 5, 0? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there it is right there. Crosses at 5, 0. My answer should be A.